picture of the parotid gland. This parotid gland we have discussed it is the inverted pyramidal in shape. So it has an apex. This is the apex. It has an base or superior surface. This is the base or the superior surface. We will discuss point by point. Apex, base. Now it has the three surfaces. That is the superficial surface. Superficial surface, also known as the lateral surface. This is the lateral surface. In this diagram, this is the lateral surface. Then anteromedial surface. Name indicate it is directed anteriorly. This is the anteromedial surface. Then it is the posteromedial surface. In this diagram, this is the posteromedial surface. So in this diagram, it is the lateral surface, superficial surface. In front, this is the anteromedial surface, and this is the posteromedial surface. Now it has the three borders. First, the anterior border. This anterior border, this is the anterior border. This anterior border separates the lateral surface from the anteromedial surface. It separates two the surfaces. This is the anterior border. Then posterior border. The posterior border, this is the posterior border, which separates this lateral surface from this posteromedial surface. Means these two surfaces are separated by this border. And the last, it is the medial border. Medial border, this is the medial border. This medial border is close to the pharynx and it separates this anteromedial surface from the posteromedial surface. And it is also known as the pharyngeal border. Pharyngeal border because it is close to the pharynx. So the parotid gland had apex, base, three surfaces and three borders. Now one by one we will discuss about these structures. First of all, the apex. This apex, you see it is directed downwards. And this apex overlaps with the, if you see the parotid region relation, it overlaps with the posterior belly of digastric. And it is the styloid muscles. This apex overlaps with the posterior belly of the digastric and the styloid muscles. This apex is situated behind angle of the mandible. Angle of mandible. And this apex is extended into the upper part of the carotid triangle. Upper part of the carotid triangle, this apex is extended. Now the structures emerging from this apex. From this apex, we see it is a branch of the facial nerve, that is the cervical. Branch of seventh cranial nerve, facial nerve, emerge from the apex, and this is the two division of the retromandibular vein. That is the anterior and the posterior division of the retromandibular vein. These three structures emerge from the apex. Now the base. Base. This is the base. This base is is also known as the superior surface. It is directed upwards and it is concave, irregular, and it is related with the external auditory meatus, as well as it is related with the posterior aspect of temporomandibular joint. Now the structures emerging from the base, from anterior to posterior. This anterior, it is the temporal branch of facial nerve. Seventh cranial nerve, it is the temporal branch. Then it is the superficial temporal vessels. It is the superficial temporal vessels. Superficial temporal artery and the vein. Artery, it is the terminal branch of the external carotid artery. We will discuss later on. Now behind these superficial temporal vessels, it is the auriculotemporal nerve. This auriculotemporal nerve, it is a branch of the mandibular nerve. Mandibular nerve. So these structures emerge from the base of the parotid gland in front of the external auditory meatus. Now the lateral surface. The lateral surface, it is in this diagram. The lateral surface, it is the flat. This region, this is the lateral surface. This is the flat. From outwards to inwards, it is related with the skin. Then skin, due to the skin, it is the superficial fascia. Superficial fascia. In this superficial fascia, there are two structures present. It is the superficial group of the parotid lymph nodes. Parotid lymph nodes. And it is the cutaneous branches of great auricular nerve. Cutaneous branches of the great auricular nerve, root value is the C2 and the C3. And this great auricular nerve supply the skin of the angle of the mandible as well as some part of the parotid region. Otherwise, whole of the face is supplied by the branches of the trigeminal nerve, that is the ophthalmic maxillomandibular. Only the angle of the mandible and the lower part of the parotid region is supplied by this great auricular nerve. And these two structures are present in the superficial fascia. Then it is the deep fascia. Deep fascia. We have discussed already this deep fascia. It is derived from the investing layer of the deep cervical fascia. It is the thick fascia, and this is known as the parotidomastoid fascia because it covers the lateral surface of the parotid gland as well as the masseter muscles and fused with the zygomatic arch. Deep to the deep fascia, we see in this diagram there are the few dotted structures. These are the deep group of the parotid lymph nodes. Deep group of the parotid lymph nodes. These lymph nodes are embedded into the lateral surface of the parotid gland. So, the lateral surface, it is the skin, superficial fascia and the deep fascia. The important one, it is the great auricular nerve that supplies the skin of the parotid region as well as the angle of the mandible.